curious monsters, and welcome to the lab. I'm Teacher Jack. Letter I is back today with some new friends. Let's see what happens when the letters C, B, and F join the mix. Then we'll use all those letter combinations to make our very own martial arts / exercise program. Get into comfy workout clothes because today we're exercising our minds and our bodies. Before we get any further, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you'll always find fun stuff like this on the regs. And it helps other kids find this too. Fun stuff all around for everyone. This is part of the letter combo series we have. You can find the rest of the videos on the channel. But to save you the time, I put all the links to those down below. You can do those activities first, but if you're already done with them, well then let's get on with this one. Just like before, we're doing this series with the help of... This helps us be more familiar with the letters before we even write them. And also like before, we're going to be working with the small versions of these letters because the small letters are the ones we see the most whenever we read and write. To prepare for our letter making, smoosh the Play-Doh. Roll them into tiny balls. Then, roll them into noodles or strings. We'll be using these noodles to form our letters. First up is letter I. Here's the big one, and there's the small one. Sometimes people write the big I like this, simple standing line. Other people put the sleeping line up and down. But the small one is always just like that. The sound that they make is E, 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 E. That sound kind of makes you jump when you say it. Anyway, let's practice making it. E is just a short standing line and a floating dot. Remember to make sure that the dot never touches the line. That's it. Practice by making lots and lots and lots. And then practice some more by writing it down. We're going to need to write these letters for our game later on. Next, we go to letter C. Here's the big one. There's the small one. They kind of look the same. This one's just a mini version of that one. And that one's just a big version of this one. The sound that they make is k, 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 k. Kind of like when you clap. K, k, k. A lot of the time, that's the sound they make. Sometimes the sound they make is s. But we won't bother about that today. Today, it's just k. Let's make k. All you have to do is to make half of a circle. That's it. The only tricky part will be to remember which side this mouth part opens to. Practice by making a few more. Keep going until you can remember which way it faces without having to look. When you're confident, practice writing it too. Then we move on to B. Here's the big one, and there's the small one. The sound that they make is B, 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 B. Kind of like a sound a ball makes when it bounces on concrete or any other hard material. Let's make B. First, we'll need a circle. Take a noodle and form it into one. Then it needs a standing line on this side. Here's the tricky part of forming B. If we put it on the other side of the circle, it becomes D or D. So here's how we remember it. Think of B as having a belly. So the circle will be in front because that's where our belly is. Then think of D as wearing a diaper. So the circle will be at the back because that's where you would wear a diaper. Practice by forming more B. Keep making them until you're sure which side the line goes on. And then practice writing them too. For the last letter of the day, we have our returning friend F. Here's the big one, and there's the small one. You'll have met this letter if you've been watching any other videos from this series. Anyway, the sound that they make is a fun way to remember them is fireworks. That's the sound of fireworks when it's shooting into the sky, just like this. And this is how we form it. First, make a standing line with a curve on top. Then, put a short sleeping line in the middle. And that's it. When you practice making, try to remember which way the letter is facing. Practice making it a few more times. Then, when you're confident with that, practice writing them to get ready for our game. For our game, we're going to be exercising or practicing our martial arts skills. Hang on, I better change into the right gear. Ha! That's better. Alright, listen up. Here are the stuff that we're gonna need for today's workout. You'll need a paper or a board to draw your martial arts or exercise moves. Then, you'll need another paper or board to list down all the letter sound combinations that we're gonna use today. Then, you'll need 2 dice. Any kind will do. You can use 2 different ones, or if you only have one, you can use that and roll it 2 times. The number of sides on the dice that you'll use will depend on the next step. If you don't have dice, you can refer to the number videos down below for some instructions. First, we'll need to decide what kind of martial arts moves, exercises, or actions you're going to do. So, we're going to make our action board. Draw a person doing the action that you want on that board. You can make as many kinds of actions as you want. So, for example, if I want the teep kick to be part of my exercise, I'll draw someone doing just that. You can put all sorts of actions like hopping on one leg, or spinning round and round, or doing the high knees, or even bouncing a ball. It's up to you. You can design your own action board however you like. If you don't want to draw, that's fine too. You can write the words describing your actions if you can, or you can just use pictures. Beside each action, put a number. So if you came up with 4 actions, then you'll need a D4. If you came up with 6 actions, then you'll need a D6, and so on and so on. Next, we'll need to make a list of all the sound combinations we can make from the letters I, C, B, and F. I'll help you with them. I'll make that sound, and you can write or form them. I'll leave all the letters on the screen so that you have a chance to copy them. Remember, in English and many other languages, we read from this side going to this side. So the first letter we read is this, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. If you're having trouble remembering which side to start writing on, maybe you can put a dot on that side. So you can put a dot in front of every letter combination. Alright, now it's time to write or form those combinations. Letters on the screen, the first sound is ick. Ick. What's the first sound you hear? Ick. Ick. It's this one. The next one is ki. E. E. It's this one. Next, we have ib. 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 It looks like this. Next, we have B. B. E. B. E. B looks like this. Next, we have if. 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 Here's what it looks like. And the last one is fee. E. E. Fee. Looks like this. That's almost all the things we need for our game. The last thing is we need a coach. Someone to tick off all the sounds that we've already done. So, Mom, Dad, Brother, Sister, Ninja Turtle, Summary Bunny, Sensei Rat will do just fine. That seems like everything, so I'll explain how this game goes. Roll the first die. The number on top will correspond to one of the actions on your action board. That's the action that you're going to do. Next, roll the second die. The number on top will be the number of times you'll do that action from the action board. And then, your coach will tell you what sound to make from the list that they have. That's the sound you will shout every single time you do one of the actions. Here's a sample. Ick! If, if. Key. If. Fee. And that's it. That's our workout/game for the day. My heart is beating so fast. How about you? Did you get tired? If you still have lots of energy, then there are loads more activities on the channel that you can do. Look around and find your next boredom buster. Don't worry, it probably won't be as tiring as this one. And besides, this one didn't seem to faze you. Moms and dads, here are some recommendations on how to convert this activity to match your child. If they're on the younger side or this is their first time working with these letters, maybe you can just make them do one letter instead of a letter combination. Or they can simply form the letters out of Play-Doh instead of writing them. If your child is older and has more experience, then maybe you can add more letters into the mix to make longer words for them to shout while they're doing the moves. Finally, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook if you have even more questions. Also, that helps you keep up to date with all things Curious Monster Lab. Links to those down below. Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go lie down. But before I go, always remember this. You can change the world for the better if you just be brave, be kind, and stay curious.